Hello and welcome to this night's episode of Mind Explorations. Today I'm here with Claudia Rickard, the inventor of the bunny talk process. And today we are going to talk about, and let me read this, the power of indifference, letting go without forcing forgiveness. And we will talk about why that is important in a moment. But first of all, let me say hi, Claudia. How are you doing? Nice of
Hello,
you to
thank you,
come.
Astrid. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I love,
You're
I love
welcome.
getting
Oh. All right. So let us know who you are, where you are, and why you are there and where you are. Because
Okay, well, I am Claudia Rickard, and as you can hear, I am English. I moved over to America in 2019. Yes, just before the lovely COVID, and it's America's my happy place. Okay, I'm just going to put it right out there. I love America. I love Americans. They fill my heart. I lived in America when I was a little girl. Okay. I did first grade, second grade, and third grade. I lived at Virginia Beach and I became a little American. I was brown as a berry, outside playing all the time. Um, you know, I was fishing, I was climbing trees, we had a lake at the bottom of the garden, so I'd row the boat. I'd set up camp on these like little islands, and my mother never knew where I was. It was just brilliant. So I had this whole thing of freedom and just play, and I haven't changed. So,
okay, so this is obviously the plug for the bunny talk process.
so yeah, well, it's true. So even when I went to back to England, I actually went to boarding school. I was 9 years
Hmm.
old. I went to
Wow.
boarding school when I was nine, and actually, it was hard, but it wasn't. I found friends, and I just still carried on playing, and I was always a little bit mischievous, and I got into trouble here and there, not bad trouble, but I was just really good at getting out of it. So I don't know. I guess I was just like used like, oh dear, and I would own up. I would own up if I made a mistake, and
Hmm.
I go, I've messed up. And it was like I was always just really open and honest. And it was like, oh dear, well, here's your punishment. Had to learn whole things of Shakespeare, and it was like, I know, and poems. It was, but that was good because then actually I put those in my exams. So I just do. I love to play, and it's just what I'm about. To be honest, I like to have fun. I like to meet people. I like to chat. I like to learn about other people, and yet somehow life, the shitty things have still happened to me. Okay. And it's like, but I seem to have this like resilience. And I think that came from boarding school. I
Ah.
also think it may have came when I went to America. And actually, at such a young age, I had to go from being an English school, and then I had to transition into people taking the teasing me, if you like, about my English accent. So then I got an American accent. Then when I went
Mhm.
back to England, I got teased for my American accent. And then I got my English accent. I haven't lost my English accent yet, and it serves me well. However, I can use it in laughing at myself, and that's absolutely fine because I make mistakes all over the place. And it's okay. I think I'm learned to be very comfortable in my own skin, not take myself too seriously, and to, as I say, just go, okay, this is happening now. What am I learning?
Mhm.
And what's next? I have always loved to help people. So it started with aromatherapy massage. I started actually as a beauty therapist, and I was in London College of Fashion. And yeah, I was just so interested in the mind thing. So I did counseling. I did 3 years of that. And then I realized, because I had got married in between there, why I was in such, I was asking myself, why am I in this awful relationship? Oh, and then I realized that most glorious word, choice.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
had a choice. And yeah, I didn't need to be in it. Oh my gosh, that was eye opening. And from then I did get remarried, had another a daughter. I've got 2 sons from my first marriage. And we got to our 50s, or we were just about to be 50. And I said to my husband, we were like saying, America. And he said, well, let's go. So we did. We looked around, brought my daughter, and she was like, because at first she was like, I don't want to go. But then she said, oh, I'd just make new friends, wouldn't I? And we were like going, yes. And so, we're here. And it was my 50th birthday present, if you like, to us. And yeah, I personally have loved it. I've thrived. America is the place where I feel as though I have been able to grow and be all I can be. I felt kind of like small and stifled in England. I love England, yet it's very much, ooh, who does she think she is? In America, people don't really care. It's like, yeah, go for it. Yeah, go on, go. Be all you can be. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually feel as though I can shine, create, and do stuff. And actually, Astrid, again, through something unfortunate, but that's how the Bunny Talk process came about.
Yeah.
And it was pioneered here in America.
Mm-hmm.
It was you know Cheryl Elman. Most people do know
I
Cheryl.
do, yes.
Yeah. And I was learning sleep talk with her, and I was telling her about this thing that I'd done with my daughter. And she said to me, Claudia, you have to do something with that. And so I did. I wrote a book for parents to help them. Best practice if there's a divorce, 10 questions you both might like to ask each other before you even have a child. And then it's got the process that I did with my daughter in that. Now, people are thinking, what is that? Well, as hypnotists, as NLPers, we know that is an anchor. Okay. Be that anchoring in a good state. Well, Astrid, when my daughter was a little girl, we used to play shadow puppets, but then we had our mummy bunny and baby bunny. My husband, who I'm still married to, the second one, it's nearly been 23 years and doing okay. He was in the Royal Navy. Now, if anybody knows military, you're away for a long time, okay? 10 months at a time. And, so there's me and my daughter, and I have my other children as well. However, she particularly liked the bunny. So she'd get into bed with me in the morning and we would just mess about. I taught her the days of the week, months of the year, all the things through the bunnies. They played. Okay. I had no idea that at that time I was anchoring in safety, love, and security, unconditional love into my little girl. We did it for years, and we still do. If she comes into my room now, she goes like this to me, and I go, okay, and I get up and I go, because I know she wants to talk. So we had this little thing. And we, as I'd said, we'd moved to America. Now, there was COVID. And she started hurting herself. Now, I know as a mother, you know what this is like when your child does not like themselves. And it was hard. And I know you know this personally. And she came through to my room one morning. It was actually New Year's Eve. It's 3:00 in the morning. And she was sobbing. Okay, sobbing. It was a scary sob. I got out of bed. I got into bed with her and I held her. And I said, can you tell me what it is? And then don't ask me what made me do it. I got Mummy Bunny out. And she got her baby bunny out with her little ears down. And her bunny's as big as mine now, of course, because she's 15. She told Mummy Bunny what had happened. But she couldn't tell me, but she could tell the bunny, because Mummy Bunny had never told her off. Mummy Bunny had never said anything mean or nasty. It was just sheer, pure unconditional love and support. And I did. I went. There was, and I just knew because of what we do. There was none of the why didn't you tell me? There was nothing like that. It was just like, okay, what would you like to do?
Yeah.
And together, the bunnies figured it out. And then she did start speaking to me. And then at 5 o'clock in the morning, she says, I'm okay now. You can go. So it was like she'd sorted it. She'd got it out. But that is the whole thing about the bunny talk process. It brings it out. Now, I'd shared this with Cheryl. So I did that in the book. It's just a communication skill that parents can now use with their children to, first of all, anchor and play. And then if their child is a teenager, then they have something, a way to communicate with them that the child knows it's safe to say something, and they can get it out and get it out of them to discuss.
Yeah. So we've had you on the beginning of the year for the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference with the Bunny Talk process. So if anybody's watching the replay or anybody watching here now live, that's on my YouTube channel. If I remember, I'll link it, and then you can watch everything in much more detail. I think you go into how to do it as well in there.
I don't know. Did I do I'm not sure if I did a demo on it.
That is a good question, but
I can't remember.
But, yeah. So
but the reason why, so my conference, the thing that I'm going to be doing at the conference for this one, speaking about indifference.
Power of Indifference. Yeah.
Okay. So the power of indifference, because, okay, so imagine now if I said to my daughter, so this happened to her, and then so many people say, we just forgive them.
Yes.
Forgive it.
And that can be a huge problem, can't it?
How? Why? What do you mean? Just forgive it? Yeah. I just completely disagree with it. Who am I to tell somebody to forgive somebody else for what they've done to them? Just absolutely no way. Yeah. What I do, and I train it in the Bunny Talk process, is to help. So say if that is your amygdala, we get this from Carl Smith. So it's like a blob of poo. Say that horrible thing that happened is like a blob of poo. I help somebody get rid of that, okay, so that they can, instead of going like that, they just go, nah, nah, so that they do feel indifferent to it. It, whatever their it is for them. And then they can choose to forgive if they want to, because, going back to my word, choice. They have a choice. Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. They can choose to forgive if they want to, because they have a choice. I will never tell anybody you have to forgive somebody. I encourage it.
Well, yes, that would maybe be the best way to do it. But if you force somebody to forgive, it's not really forgiveness. It's still there. It's like, I do it because the therapist said so, but I don't really feel like I wanted to. So it still remains. It's still there. You haven't really changed much or at all.
And those feelings, these things, the feeling of the whatever it is that happened to somebody, can then become out in all different sorts of behaviors. Anger, it can come out in depression, it can come out in anxiety, it can come out in pulling your hair, it can come out in picking, it can come out in teeth grinding, it can come out in tinnitus. I don't want to hear it.
Yep.
You know that.
Yeah. I speak on tinnitus all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. You're speaking on tinnitus at the Mid-America Hypnosis Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely fantastic. And it's so true. People have things, they'll have pain, they'll have migraines, they'll have whatever they have, because they'll do anything else except feel that. Yeah. And actually, I do get people to feel it. They will feel their feelings, but then we get rid of it pretty quick. Yeah. Together.
So do you have to do that? The feelings, or so Yeah, you do. Of course you do. But they don't have to tell you the problem, correct?
No. I don't need, they know it. I don't need to hear it. Now, the reason why I do hear things is because I then check the work.
Mm-hmm.
So I then say to them, now you can talk about it. Tell me. And then they're saying it, and I go, what's it like now? It's fine. Oh my gosh, I can talk about it. Oh my gosh, that,
Yeah.
I'm not magic. I do say to people, I'm not magic. So if it's like a big frog in their throat, I can't take the whole thing away, but I can turn it back into a tadpole or frog spawn. So that they can talk, so that they can, now
I'm a bit visual.
So that but instead of going like that, or that choking feeling, that pressure on their throat, or the thing that comes up behind your eyes and makes you want to cry, it's just like, yeah, so
Yeah.
what?
So would you say that indifference is really the opposite of trauma in a broad sense?
Well, I think so. Okay, so let's think about love.
Mm-hmm.
So many people think that the opposite of love is hate. No, it is actually indifference.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who has been divorced, and you think about, if you actually still hate that person with a passion, then you still have an emotional charge.
Yeah.
You still have that on there. Okay. So in order to become indifferent, you have to take that off.
Yeah.
So because one person's trauma is different to another person's. It could be a significant emotional event, a bad one, obviously, or a horrible feeling. The thing is, once somebody starts to become indifferent to something, then they start to feel, they remember some better times, some good times. They start to feel the ice cream. They might start to remember the ice cream moments.
Okay.
If there are any. If there
Right.
are any. But there is always going to be a time when somebody was falling in love.
Obviously. Well, usually, yeah.
There usually was.
Yeah.
What did you like about them at the beginning? It just becomes less about that and more, and let's just say, or just bear. But we always have to fill that with, because there's a void now, you have to fill the void with something else. And it could be self-love, could be self-forgiveness, it could be self-something that you actually then have to fill that with. And again, that's what I speak on, that's what I train. So yeah.
And so how would you do that?
How do I do it?
Yes.
So that's the bunny talk. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we got it out. So that's why I explained that, because we get it out of the body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now dissociated out. Okay. So when I am doing the whole process, and I do this every so often on a Sunday, I'm doing one actually this coming Friday night for people in Australia. It's so sorry, people in Europe, it'll be your middle of the night, because it's my late night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm doing it at 9 o'clock at night, my time in North Carolina.
Oh, so it'll be
So
2 o'clock in the morning in Britain. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to be, doing it to just so that people can see, oh, that's what you do. And it's like, yes, you've got to get it out. So when I do it with children or for inner child work, draw around their body. If you've seen my a workshop before that I've done,
huge pieces of paper. Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
Go around their body, and then they get it out of them. But still not hearing the story. I had a girl just, she was nearly 13. She came the other week. I'm working with a mother, but she said, oh, she's just really depressed. Can you help her? She came 2 hours later. She left happy, cleared 5 bits of poo from here. And I used some little brown clay, and she was putting them on there from the things. And then I do bunny eye movements. Okay. And say a certain suggestion, and the bunny pulls it out, and then we anchor in good things. Now, she couldn't wait. She loved it, pulling the poo, giving it back to me. I always check the work. Told you, I check the work. Okay, so that's when I say, now tell me another story, or we might use sort of like cuddly toys. I do have lots of toys around, and it's like just who's who. Now tell me a story. What happened? Oh, and she could feel it again, but it was a different type of poo, because there's always onion layers. We know there is.
Yeah.
So I gave her a bit of poo back. So put it back on your own, and I did the bunny eye movements again. Got rid of it. The sud scale comes down. And then she gave me the poo back, and then we change it out. It changes the colors in the body. So she's owning it. She's owning the change, not me. She's doing the work.
But really what you've done then is to take the therapeutic process. You made it more visual, more kinesthetic, and you've gamified it, really. You've made it a game.
Yes.
So exactly what today's youth wants.
Yes. She absolutely loved it.
Do you give brownie points too?
Yeah,
Just...
she came back.
You should.
Yeah, the bunny's poo. So she gave it back to me, but she absolutely loved it, and she, and yeah. So that was 1 2-hour session.
Yeah, and has she gotten back to you, or did?
Yeah, because I see the mum.
Oh, you see the mum. Okay, yeah, good.
So it's wonderful. Like, yeah. So, and I did a training in September, and we had a lady on there who had a horrific trauma, and she wasn't even working with me. She was working on a breakout room. However, during the weekend, she had a massive transformation that she had been trying to help herself with other therapists for 2 years.
Wow.
I cannot believe it. And she actually told the whole group what had happened to her. Obviously, I'm not going to share it on here, but she told, and it was like, she goes, I'm normally having panic attacks by now. She goes, I cannot believe that I can talk about this and feel so indifferent. I have been checking in with her since. And she said, I'm absolutely fine. I'm even looking at all my scars and I'm fine. She goes, I can't believe it. I can't thank you enough. So it's like people, when they do the training, it's they get their own transformation. You know, there's something really big because it's important that we can clear that stuff for ourselves. In order to hear otherwise we could get triggered ourselves, and it's not about us. It's about our clients.
Yeah. So okay, so the person is then indifferent after the session, and what happens with them then? How can they continue with their life? What's your experience?
Okay, so you fill the void with something else. And so that's then I tied everything up with hypnosis. So I average about 5 sessions. So it's clear all the stuff. And then it's, one of my first questions is, what do you want? What do you want to feel like? When you have that, what will that give you? Why haven't you got that already? And we move into who's your support. And then I draw my diagrams. They go, oh, that's why that. Oh, that's why they did that. Oh, that's what. Oh. And then they understand. I also give loads of techniques, strategies, and metaphors, stories. I give loads of like NLP techniques because I can't stop life happening.
Yeah.
Life is always like that. It's always up and down. I can't stop that.
No, that's true.
It's how we manage it that counts.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to disable somebody and keep them with me for years and years and years. No, this is what you do, and you can handle it yourself without the poo. Okay. And then you go on. And it's interesting because I had somebody he was depressed. Anyway, we did our sessions. 2 years later, he got back in touch with me. He said, something's come up. We had both missed a bit of poo. It hadn't even arisen until his kids were a certain age. And then something got ignited. So he came back. I think we did 2 sessions, fine again.
Yeah.
So it's like, so because there'll always be something, but I don't know at all, because obviously I can't, but it was what there was at the time. And so often, so it's interesting. I mentioned that I went to boarding school when I was 9 years old. Never upset me when my boys were that age. When my daughter was 9, I suddenly thought, how could my mother have sent me? I was a baby,
Yeah.
you know? And it was because I didn't stop really crying until I was about 11 years old, going back. Now, I could have, and then after 11, I was absolutely fine. And actually, it's true. At 11, my own daughter, I'd have gladly sent her to boarding school. But no, it's, no, I was a baby. I was little. And yes, I had my sister there, so it did help. So I expect that's why. And forces, people. They did that because they were moving around. But saying it's so, yeah, so there's something often that we don't get upset, we don't know it's going to upset us until our own children are that age as well. And then we go, oh, and then it rises its ugly head again, and we feel for our own little people inside us. Hence why I see so many people for inner child work with the bunny talk process.
Right. But what I meant with my question, what happens with them after the sessions, I should have said. So what kind of reports do you get back from clients? What happens with them? Because you did in the description, it said empowerment and into true freedom. So what, yeah.
You just
Do you
don't
have a story that's really, really great?
Oh my gosh,
about the after.
Yeah,
Your favorite one then, please.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me see. I had one girl who had she came to me. She was sent to me by her, because I see people sent to me from psychologists and therapists. She came to me, her fingers were bloodied. Okay.
From picking.
And biting.
Okay.
They were awful. And I did do the bunny talk process on her. And it was all from when she was a child. There's abuse, so much. Anyway, we cleared it. And it was like she started growing her nails. And then it was like, and she sent me recently a picture. She's wearing an engagement ring with nails.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So, okay. So do you have any comparison? I mean, we've had a while ago Stephen Travers with havening, etc. It's another trauma process.
I'm a certified havening practitioner. He trained me.
Right. So do you use that in conjunction, or is it a replacement, the bunny talk process?
Okay. So the reason why I wanted to do havening was because I see people living with dementia. So yes, you're right. So sometimes I will, if the bunny talk process isn't necessarily, if somebody's not very mind you, that's very kinesthetic. There's more ways to do something. Because I do. All right. Because I can do havening as well. I don't often use it. I mainly do use the bunny talk process.
Right.
If I get a client that it's not budging yet, then I will go, let's do this, and then we can go back to it, because I can, because I'm trained in it. And it's true, there have been times when I have some clients, so I don't use it with every client. And I'll own up to that. I don't use it with every single one. I do some of it. My emotional intelligence coaching, my version of that bit, is with every client. Okay. And that is trained in the bunny talk process. So the bunny talk process, you can use some of it, bits of it. You can grow some of it up so that it's not that, it's just that. And it's not the bunny's taken it and it's just, I've got it. And then it's like, you just say anchoring. You don't have to make it childlike. You can make it grown up, if you like. Yeah. And then it's, or you could just use that, or you could just use all of it. You can use little bits. And plus everybody, every single one of us has our own, because everybody's working, has their own unique things you can add in as well. I'm not telling anybody it's only this way.
Yeah.
You can use a bit of it, all of it, that session, or just that bit, or not that bit. So I don't always get the drawing out.
Yeah.
But I might just use that, and online as well, because I train it online. It's like we draw gingerbread men, so you don't have to draw around the body. And that is what I do when I do the other bit. Now, yes, because sometimes I use kinetic shift from Carl Smith because I'm trained in that. Sometimes I use parts work, but that's in the hypnosis bit anyway. So I've trained in so many different modalities to make sure that I am the best of the best that I can be for my clients. Hey, and I'm still learning. And I'm okay with that. We all are. All right. So I did IEMT back in 2018. I'm a blast technique practitioner. I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, it's like there's so many different things because there's all these little bits. The reason why I like the bunny talk process and what I added in was the training of the emotional intelligence coaching.
Right.
I use that with my corporate clients. I use that with every single one of my clients. The bunny talk process itself is if you want to work with children, teens, if you want to do inner child work, or you just grow it up and you use it for a phobia, or you use it for a divorce, or you use it for whatever. You don't have to say, I'm doing the bunny talk. You just say, I'm using this. This is this I'm doing. Because clients don't know what you, it's just, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. This
and
is
you
how we
do
it.
But you know, you've got it. You learnt it from doing the bunny talk process.
Why you don't explain to a client, I'm going to do parts now, or, whichever technique you're using, you're not normally going to explain that.
Yeah, you just go, this is what, just sit, this is what we're doing now. You don't go into the whole thing of where you got it from, how you learn, it's like, no, you just, you just roll it in.
Yeah.
Does
all of those techniques
okay. No, I asked, does that answer your question?
Oh, does it answer your question? Can I ask a question?
Oh, no.
Yes, it does. I was already on the next question. So all of the techniques that you've learned, blast, IEMT, etc., they're all trauma-based techniques or trauma techniques, kinetic shift as well. Yeah. So why is it that you concentrated on that part?
Because my two sons were abused.
Okay.
And I will do everything and anything that I can to help anybody else. I've not necessarily been able to help my own children, but I sure as hell can help other people's.
That's wonderful.
It's my passion. It's my purpose. And it means a lot. Because I do know that we are not our behaviors. We are our good intention. And that is why my two sons are drug addicts. And recovering.
Good.
And functioning as well and working.
Good.
And my daughter is okay as well. She's functioning. She's fine.
Wonderful. That's good. Good to hear. Okay, after this heavy part, sorry, I want us to get to something else that's that this reminds me of, and that is Bob Burns, the Swan. Now we can't really stay serious with Bob Burns when we're mentioning that name, I guess. So
well, the Swan, you're right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say it? Are you going to say it?
And the bunny, what?
The Swan and the bunny. So that's his swan. It's my bunny. They're coming together in Southampton, 3rd of January.
I was going to say it. I saw that flying about on Facebook somewhere. Yeah. So and that's going to be a one-day course, but I'd like to know how do they connect? Because I haven't done the Swan yet. Bob, listen up, give it to me, teach me. I might come on the 3rd of January. I don't know yet. But how do they both connect?
Okay. So the Swan is an idiomotor response. It's like, it's just either going to go, looks at you. And it's like talks at you, toy. Has it got a voice? Has it got this? Everybody keeps thinking that the bunny talk is it as well. No, it's not. It's not. So we're going to do it to show you. No, it's not. And
that's why you do it together.
Well, he loves it. Bob said to me, because Bob will call you out. And Scott Zanard said to him, you've got to speak to this Claudia Rickard. And so we had a chat, and he said to me, "Oh, Claudia," he goes, "just send me a video of you working with a child." And he was expecting to hate it. He did a video on it saying how much he loved it. And he said, you can visibly see the child changing. It goes, it's all play. It's brilliant. It goes, it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. And so he wants to support me as I'm now getting people to learn this throughout the world. It's in Australia, it's in Berlin, it's in Ireland, it's in England, it's throughout America, and it's exciting because he loves it. He's going to add in because he sees children as well. But it's like, and I don't know how he would add that into what I do, but he's going to show us. He's going to show it. But everybody's going to learn the Swan because actually it doesn't take necessarily that long to necessarily learn it, practice it. They will get a certificate from Bob. They will then also, as a bonus, get an hour's talk with him about their business. He's also going to share about his business. Now, because it's Bob and I am then going to spend the rest of the day, I'll showcase the bunny talk process. I will do it on somebody, and then everybody's going to start doing it on each other because it's going to be very, very practical. It will be probably very, very funny, a lot of good fun. But that's
with Bob, it will be funny.
Well, of course, it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
So, but that's going to take the day up. Now, because I need actually 2 days to train this really, and just me, I am actually giving the bonus of the 2-day online for free, which is actually normally, if I didn't have the early bird, there would be $797. They're getting it for just Bob's and mine training.
Yeah. Oh, we're not going to give away the price on screen. We're going to wait. Send me over the link and then I'll put it into the chat if you want, and then I'll put it into the show notes.
Really good value. So that is actually, that online one is in November. And, you know, at the end of the day, even if you didn't come to Bob's and mine, you would still get, that's like really good value. Like wonderful. Really good. You get the Facebook group because I've got a private Facebook group. You get the manual, and then I constantly do stuff. I look after my people. Okay, it's really important that my bunnies have a really good burrow.
They will, I'm sure. So let's get back to the power of indifference. Is there anything else that we have not touched on yet that we need to say about the power of indifference?
Well, again, it goes back to, it's so important to have that, like, so what? And again, actually, that's Bob's. Some will like you, some won't. So what? You know, and that's what I get all my clients to get to, is that it's like, it's just okay. So if there is perfectionism, that is often because of something. So we can let go of that. It's like, I get, when my perfectionists first come in, they are jealous of people who just have that thing of just not caring, of like, just not caring what they look like, not care, just so what? They're jealous of them. I help them get there. Not that they're going to end up looking like, look like slobs or anything, but just to the point that actually it's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Hey, I'm okay. I like myself. I'm all right. It doesn't, just that, it's just like, so what? It doesn't matter.
So that's quite a big psychological shift then, internal shift. And that empowers them to
be all they can be and enjoy life, feel freedom and because feel peace of mind, to feel calm in a situation, to just go, yeah, oh dear, I prefer that hadn't happened, but it did. So what did I learn? What am I learning now? Oh, it's just becomes that freedom in their own head. It becomes this, instead of being like that, becomes the clarity. That can only be a good thing.
So I did ask you earlier whether the opposite of indifference was trauma, but we don't always have trauma. Not everybody does. So would you, because we've talked about depression a lot and anxiety and all of those things, phobias, is that also the opposite of indifference? Or are they all parts of?
Oh, I think that when people have depression, anxiety and things, I think their behaviors. And their behaviors. And they do that because of that. So like I say, it's like it's important to get rid of that. The anxiety, the depression was because of something. Now, hey, don't get me wrong, I get a lot of people who go, I have never had any, like, a big T, but it's just this feeling I get of not being worthy, this feeling I get of not being good enough, this feeling I get of being unlovable, it's just unsafe, it's just this, I don't know what it is. And it may be nothing massive, but it could be just something like Chinese water torture that has gone on and on and on and on, and it brings somebody down and down and down and down until they are that big.
Chinese water torture is drops of water on the head.
Drops of water on the head.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't even recognize it for a while until suddenly you do. But it's too late. It's driving you mad.
Let's hope that your clients aren't mad yet.
I said it's light.
But it's something that chips away slowly, that you don't, it's one of those things that don't happen all of a sudden. That's what you mean.
Yeah, that thing of just not being safe, not always, it's, I mean, as parents, we always do our best. And, really and truly, I mean, I'll hold my hand up, I messed up. But it's the 80-20 rule. In everything, in food, in whatever, it's the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, is really nice if we give all the love and the nurturing and all of that. 20%, kids are going to hear you argue. Kids are going to have some shit. They're going to be bullied a bit. They're going to have this. They're going to have that. I had that at boarding school, So I was bullied, but I also bullied. Okay, because what went round came round, and it was so it's just that's life. So it's the 80-20 rule, and for some people though it's the reverse.
Okay,
and it's the 20 it's okay, and 80 is bad, but they're not really aware of it because it's nothing. It wasn't like a massive, windows breaking, police coming. It's just this. All the kind of fear of not being allowed to be noisy, had to always be quiet, had to always, had to people please. Mummy was poorly, mummy's got a headache, don't make a noise. It was this thing. And it can so often be this thing of having to look after another parent, shh. So you just couldn't be yourself, comfortable in your own skin. And then people going, I don't know what's wrong, there's just something. And that's why we have to find out. We get curious. So we get curious.
Good. I'm curious now about your talk at the Chicago Hypnosis Conference, which is coming up. And this is the reason we're doing this talk, because that's where both Claudia and I will be speaking on the 17th to the 19th of October. That's in under 2 weeks now, in 11 days. I think I will be in, 11 days. I'll be in Chicago, and so will you. And we hope to see a lot of you there. If not, Claudia has a training coming up on the 3rd of January. I have a training on tinnitus coming up this coming Saturday in 5 days in Belgium, Leuven, which is also online. So you can see that on my page, on my Facebook page, or I'll put it into the show notes as well. So both of those trainings are going in there. Yes.
Yeah. You might, sorry. I know. I've actually got a training I've got a pre-conference workshop at the Chicago. It's on the 16th.
Oh, you do?
One day.
On the 16th. Okay, so you need to be in Chicago on the 16th of October if you want to train with Claudia in person. If you buy a ticket to the conference, please put my name into the referral box.
Astrid,
because I'd like to have access to the VIP lounge. I'm one of those kids.
Yeah.
You get free drinks, actually. I have no idea.
I don't know. And then and then anybody who does that gets my at the Chicago one, you get my online on the 8th and 9th as a bonus as well, because it's just a one day. If anybody trains me one day, I want to make sure I've got good bunny talk practitioners. I want to make sure you know your stuff. It's really, as I say, it's my brand. It's really important to me.
That was the 8th and 9th of November, correct?
8th and 9th of November.
That's so online.
Actually,
okay.
if you can make Bob's and mine, do it now so you can join the training already. I'll get you on in the for the training in November.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, we'll see how it works out. Wonderful. And oh, let's do this. Yeah. So you're running a trainer's training as well. However, you have to be finished with the process first as a student,
As a
as
student,
a practitioner.
and you get
Um,
chosen.
and you get chosen. Yeah. So that's just one hint. So if you're thinking about it, doing it, and you would potentially like to become a trainer, you would want to do it now. That's just what I wanted to put in there. Okay. Thank you so much, Claudia, for being here. Is there anything else we need to say? Any questions, guys, who are watching that you would like to ask? Put them into the chat or just shout into the room and we'll answer them. But
Thank you for being patient, Astrid. I know I do talk a lot.
you do, but that's fine because I don't have to ask questions. Saves me time.
I
But
get very enthusiastic.
you do, and that's good. And I understand why. I had no idea about your past. If you missed that, guys, go back to the beginning and the middle of this talk, and you'll find out why. So yeah, I had no idea about that, about the extent of what happened there. So yeah, I'm glad to know that, and yeah, I can see why you're so passionate about the bunny talk process and helping kids, especially. And yeah, wish you good luck
Yeah.
with the whole family.
Thank
And
you.
everybody else, thank you for joining. I see we have no questions. Thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow we have Anne Beal. That is the last session before the Chicago conference. And it will be Find Flow on Purpose, Peak Athletic and Human Performance. And I think that would be very, very interesting. And I wonder which kind of process Annie uses and what exactly her talk is going to be about. So lovely to see you all. Have a good evening and hopefully see you tomorrow or sometime soon. Okay, bye bye.
Bye. Thank you for coming on, everybody.